And the final of the women's double sculls. Germany's Katrin Boron and Jana Thieme, well, they won the Olympic title and the '99 World Championship. Today, Katrin Boron is partnered in lane 4 by qalqili-kowalski.
Well, I think the only ones who are going to put pressure on Germany are really Belarus and perhaps the fast improving New Zealanders. The New Zealanders are doubling up, they're doing the quad as well, and they failed last year just to get selected for Sydney, so they've got a lot to prove. They've been going very, very well here all through the regatta in both events, so I quite fancy the New Zealand double to really make a mark. But we still don't really know what was wrong with Karsten in the Belarus double, so we don't know yet whether that's going to influence this race here, with them trying to really put pressure on Germany.
Well, the one thing we have managed to discover in the intermediate time, Dan, is that she did have back problems a couple of weeks ago, but that in itself is not unusual because so many people in this sport do have back problems, but maybe it did and maybe it has affected her preparation.
Well, it might have inhibited her movements and whether she could really sprint as much as she would like, but she's doing pretty well here. It's Lithuania who's gone out in front, taking up the early lead. Maybe they're going too fast, who knows, but it's the great Katrin Boron in the bow seat of the German double who stands way ahead of everybody else on the world scene, won more medals than anybody else, 10 gold medals. What a performer.
I was going to say, Dan, it's great to see her in the boat, because we did think that maybe Sydney would be the final bow that she would make, and then we saw her reappear this year. Indeed, she came to Henley, one of the few gold medals that she hadn't won, and duly went away with the gold there.
Well, she's only 32, so she's been winning medals for the last 10, 11 years. A great competitor since she was a junior back in East Germany, former East Germany.
There she is on the right of the picture with Kerstin Kowalski, one half of the Kowalski sisters. The other one, actually, you'll see in action tomorrow in the women's quadruple sculls, Manya. But these two, the new partnership formed by Jutelau for the year 2001. And they've just about pegged back the Lithuanians who are in lane 2. Good start by these two, and to be respected, bronze medalists in the Olympic Games, 4th in the World Championships in Canada, so steady improvement from those two.
Well, Germany were 4th at the first single at 500 metres, and they really have in this second 500 really pushed right on through. They are, you're right, the Lithuanians, very nice scullers, particularly the bow, Saskienė. She's a very, very nice sculler, very long, rangy sculler. Makes it all look very easy. But here the New Zealand twins moving very sweetly in their boat. Just watch how that boat runs through the water, and they are now putting pressure also on Lithuania, being brought along really by Germany's big surge there as they come up to the 1,000.
Yes, the New Zealand duo coached by Dick Tonks, as we see the Germans. The New Zealanders, though, a new generation, of course. They were successful in the early 90s, 93 and 94, with Philippa Baker and Brenda Lawson. And these two very promising as we come to the half distance now. So Germany in command on the far side there, Lithuania, then New Zealand. Those are the first three, and Belarus still on the premises, but 4th down.
Yes, Belarus quietly there in lane 6 again on the outside there, a difficult lane to work in, but they're still in with a shout of a medal. Kerstin
Kowalski, Olympic champion, in the stroke seat of that German double scull. She was in the German quad last year in Sydney. And there has to be something very special, not only about these German scullers, but also, Dan, about the woman who for so many years has produced them, Jutelau.
It's interesting, you watch Boron in the bow seat there, doing something that every oarsman and sculler is told not to do, which is arm catch. She takes it with the arms, bent arms at the front end of the stroke, but she's won 10 gold medals doing it, so I'm not going to complain too much. But it's certainly something that you don't expect from a top-class sculler. But here now they're beginning to move Belarus. There's Karsten looking much more like the Karsten that we know, and she's beginning to put a lot of pressure there on Lithuania on the far side, and they're just now moving into 3rd place. Now can they catch New Zealand? They're certainly not going to catch Germany.
No, nobody's going to catch Germany. New Zealand, though, the Evers-Swindell sisters, they're in a very good position because they can see every move that Karsten and her partner, Beretznova, are making. And at the moment, Dan, they've got the best part of a length. And although we've got the final quarter to go, they should just about be able to hang on. But hanging on is really what Lithuania are trying to do on the far side. Suddenly, it's looking very hard.
Yes, that looked very painful. They obviously are paying hugely for that early lead.
By a length and a little bit there, it's Germany, New Zealand with clear water over Belarus, who are now into third. Then it's Lithuania, and Lithuania now being chased by the Russians there for fourth place. And Switzerland, well, disappointing for the home fans, but I'm afraid Vicky and Luti are really being outclassed on the far side.
Yeah, the Swiss were seventh in Sydney, and that's about really the measure. They're not really improving on that. I'm surprised that Russia is so far back. I would have expected them to be up here with the leaders. They've got some good experience in their boat, but it's New Zealand who's putting the most pressure on Germany, and this is terrific from the twins. Great leg drive, very horizontal rowing, but they're not going to get back on real terms with Germany. Germany are going to have this quite comfortably, not quite as comfortably as they have in the past, but certainly clear over New Zealand. And now it looks, with Belarus not really going to be able to get on terms with New Zealand, they're going to have to settle for bronze again for Karsten.
Yeah, Germany going away with this, but very interesting, the two New Zealanders from Hawke's Bay on the North Island, on the east coast there. Parents have a fruit orchard, and very, very strong women. Georgina in particular, 6:31 her ergo record. Very strong woman, and those two look to me, Dan, to have the strength to keep the Belarus duo in third place, which is where they are now.
Well, certainly, and they're going to be doubling up as well. They're doing the quadruple sculls as well, so they'll be pretty satisfied with today's work, certainly. But it's this double from Germany, streaking to another win. Great, great success for them. Look at that.
New Zealand takes silver, Belarus with a fast finish for the bronze medal, and then a lot of clear water to the Russians, who, as you said, Dan, a little disappointing there. Lithuania, who faded, and Switzerland, who were always sixth. But another gold medal for Katrin Boron and her partner today, qalqili-kowalski, and I think Karsten will be very happy to get out of that boat. So Germany retain the double sculls title ahead of the impressive New Zealand youngsters.
But successful all the same.
A fifth double sculls gold for Boron, 90 and 91 with Beata Schramm, 97 with Mikey Evers, 99 with Jana Timmer, and today qalqili-kowalski. These two absolutely delighted for New Zealand, and getting the bronze there, Ekaterina Karsten. Will she do this again, do you think?
Well, I think she might. If that injury did really hold her up, I think she'll feel that 2 bronzes isn't a bad result after all, and she'll be pretty hungry to have another go, certainly in the double.